Hello everyone, Emmanuel here, and I'm going to show you, hopefully, how to use Filemaker in order to get data for the spring term. So just an overview, we're looking at the spring term here, which is open now and due November 11th. That's the state deadline. The system is actually open later, but that is for the federal folks. So we need this spring term, which is cumulative data. That is data from 2015-16, the school year, from the beginning to the end of the school year. If you start September, late August, early September, through your school year programs due on the 11th. You've done this before for summer and fall. A little bit different this time, but same basic process. We have 4 areas: activities, staffing, participation, and outcomes. So first, activities. You may recall this section, again, for the whole school year. You can use a discrete time frame, such as a session, for example, or a couple of months. It's an average in order to fill out that information. So we don't have a discrete report for this. The second section, as you recall, is staffing. For the staffing data, you can go to Reports, PPICS, Staff, School Year, and Paid and Volunteer. That will line up pretty closely. You may use this report. For participation, you're first going to be asked for grade level. Again, this is for the entire school year. For the first part of the collection, for grade level, you can select academic year, grade level report, and by grade, you can fill in these pieces. The next part, as you recall, gets a little more complicated. There's 2 sections for pre-K to 5 or K to 5 in Vermont, and then 6 to 12, and we need to get these gradations of under 30 days, 30 to 59, 60 to 89, and 90. You may have had your method that you figured out. I'll just recycle the information on the report that can be used with some extra work. The report that can be used is Reports, Student, and the detail report. As you may recall, you will select the academic year, which is the school year, and then with some extra work you can manipulate this number, making sure it's days, and 90, 60, 30, etc. So just for example, we have 30 here. You'll need to get K to 5 and do some adding as well for 6 to 12. The report first puts out its non-regular attendees at the top and regular at the bottom. You can scroll through the report using these buttons to see the end. The grand totals, of course, it's going to count everything in the database. So for example, I need the total number of less than 30 days by K to 5. We're going to be looking at grade 7. Well, for example, there's 33, and there's 33 less than 30 days. So then I would want to check out grade 8. Or we'll just take grade 12 as an example. There's 11. So you'll be adding those numbers to get the less than 30 days. As before, you will need to use a process of elimination. But first we could get our 90-day attendees. Again, we're going into Reports, Student, Detail, Academic Year, 90 days. We'll look at that right-hand column for greater than 90 days. By grade, it would show up here. I don't have any in this one, but that's where it would show up. Again, I don't have any, but it would show up by grade, and you could add them up. Now, after you have your 90 days, you would know you'd have those students, and the question would be who's between 60 and 90 and who's between 30 and 60. So just generating reports for 60 days. You'd look at the numbers again, looking by grade, who's 60, but eliminating the 90, and so forth. A little complicated, but you've done it before, I believe. Now there's also information request for ethnicity, which actually is problematic to get out, but sex and things such as IEP, free and reduced lunch. And within this report, looking at those same grades, you can see the sex, the IEP, the free and reduced lunch, adding those together. So you need to do a bunch of addition to get the totals, but this is the place where you can get it. By the way, just a reminder that when you enter this data in the federal system, you need to click the drop-downs and then review everything, scrolling to the bottom and then submitting. Moving to outcomes for the cumulative school year, also known as spring term, you will click state assessment, and for your gradations using the SBAC, the SBAC system as you did before, you'll follow that same process that hopefully you have some familiarity with. So thank you. I hope this was helpful. There are other ways of getting at this information, and certainly we're currently engaged in a contract so that these reports will come at you in a better way for the next reporting period. Thanks again.